the card visual. Cards. What are the cards? Remember that I was talking about that sometimes you want to show the data on the process level and you don't want that if I select 2011 in slicer, it should change the numbers, right? So guys, this is the card. Another visual. Click here. We have created this. Okay. So let's say now what we can do here. If you see the card, it has only one field. Yes, just a one field. You can show only one number here. Now let's say I want to show the total performance. Sales. Yeah. You see the sales counts, right? If I want to show the cost as well. You see the cost is going to override the sales. You can't have two items. Okay. That's why it is called cards. It can show you the one particular your business matrix number. Okay. So again, I can copy this to save my time, isn't it? And then one more. And then let's say one more. I mean, as many cards I want, I can create. So here what we will do, I am interested in the cost. Oh, sorry. Select this first, put the cost here. You're getting the cost, you're getting the revenue, everything is there. If you know the formulas, you can calculate the difference also between that, which will be a profit. Calculation is all about tax. And item shipped. So we have 26,000 items shipped, right? And so let's say I want to see the average as well. So, I mean, you can create that average also. Let's say for on sales, I want to see not the average, but let's say the maximum sale happened. Or maybe, I mean, whatever, see, up to you. So this is the average of sales. So this is all about the card, right? Now let's see that from the customization perspective, what we can do. So we have here two sections, call out and category label. Call out is for this number. Label, as you know, it's going to be for the label. Sales, cost, whatever you have written. So I go in the cost value. First of all, I prefer actually this much of width and all that, So it's always good that, once you decide the card, the height and all that stuff, then you start creating the copies. Otherwise, you will have to do this in every card, right? So I will prefer this using maybe this one, right? And the color. So let's say you can change the color as well. So we'll go with this color, for example. Display unit, as I said, you can have the full number as well. We'll keep the auto. It's a big number. Text wrap, nothing you need to do. And category label, sales. So sales, let's say bold. And the color, if I have to choose, so we'll go maybe use this color sales. Let's change this to maybe 13 or 14. Fine. Okay. Journal. Property, already know all that. Height, width, title. If you want to keep the title, title, we don't need the title because we already have this label here. But in case if you want, you can have a title. You can start writing here that, let's say, so process A, for example. You see that? So for this also, again, you can have different colors. You can have a background color as well. Like, for example, you see, this is how many you can do. Okay. Keep the alignment in the center. Text wrap is fine. If you want further one more subtitle, you can create the subtitle below this. This option was never there in initial days. If I remember till last year, I think this subtitle I didn't see. Anyways, so let's say the process is ABC. You can write here ABC. I'll align this as well in the center. I'll make this bold, maybe, right? Then text wrap is not required because it's a short syntax. I have already educated you about this. Divider. Divider is this line which we will have. You can see the divider is there. So what I will do, I'll increase the width. Let's say by 3, maybe. Nice. Spacing. The space, if you have to keep between this and this, you can try to, you can increase the space if you want. Like this, you see the space. So if you can't see the entire syntax, space between, so just increase the width of this space between label and value. Okay, very simple. Anyway, so these all I'm actually, because I have to teach you, so I'm doing all that. Otherwise, I don't use these options. Now the effect is also there. So in the effect, we can have, let's say, so if I use some color, Yeah, this one. No, not this one actually. And go with the dark theme. Yeah, so then I have to visual border. No, I don't need the border. Okay. I use the shadow. Sometimes I prefer using the shadow here. So this the call out value, you see this particular thing is the value we have to change the font of this because of the background. Or maybe we can do one thing. Yeah. So first of all, let me make this white. Okay, fine. Okay. And now let's see that. Okay, so they will have this background. Okay, if I use something else, like, yeah. So color combinations are superb here. You can have a bit of transparency also in case if you want. I'll go with this one, top one. Okay, has to match with your entire theme basically. Okay, sorry, I have to go in the general ad. So let's use a different color here, not the white actually. Maybe it's very dark. Yes, so let's say sort of this color I will go with. Okay, so this is your card customization tooltip. You already know. See now, tooltip is not activated here, right? If you remember that in all the previous visuals, tooltip is always on. Remember, if I have and the information comes in the card, it's not required. Why? Because the number is automatically flashing on your screen, so you don't need this one. This all are very, all those. So effects, we have done background color and all that. The title is there, this title if you need it, And so yeah, so since we are doing this, so divider is now because of this black theme. So you may go and, want to change this. If I create this as white, yeah, look at this, right? So I mean, this is how it is. So width is, let's say I create the width as, yeah, 5. Okay. So these are the cards. Remember? So this is very useful in the dashboard. Now, since I've created this, now what do you think? Am I supposed to now? I'm going to rework on all these things? No. Once I've decided this, this is something I'll do later. Dragging, dropping the fields, right? What actually I will do is, right now, I will create a copy of this. I'll say Control V, you see. Once I've created this, I just have to change the sales to cost, isn't it? See? And if you want to change these, please go in the title and the subtitle. Another thing is that what else you can do? Remember Paintbrush in the Home tab? In Excel we have, in BI also we have. But there, one thing which I have so far, as on date, that there the double click also works on the painter. So you don't have to come back to the, the same image to paint the same formatting again and again. If you double click, Excel will never deactivate the format painter. It keeps that option on. So you just have to click, and everywhere add-on formatting applies. But here you have to do this. The double click, I've seen it doesn't work, right? If I double click here, nothing will happen. Single click, yeah. So I click here, you see. Again, single click, you see, it's working, right? Formatting part, not the height and the width, that you have to do manually. And of course, because you have not added here any titles, you have to add. But once you add the titles, the formatting will be applied automatically. I'll show you. That's one example here. I say that process. You see that? It is there. Okay, so these things you can do. So what actually you should do is first you create one title, one card. When you're satisfied with that, create the copies of that, and that's it. And that's it. It is going to save a lot of time. So these are your cards. So on the dashboard, they will always use the numbers, the total numbers on the process level. Okay. Now, what I was telling you, that if, let's say generally what happens, if you create the, so suppose I have created another report where I have some, the visual, for example, the visual, and I'm looking for category wise sales. Okay. So this is my data. Now, if I want to put some slicers, which I will put, okay, so let's go and move them here. Okay, so let's have the slicer. So let's say now in the slicer date hierarchy, we will put, I'll use the year. Basically, that is my plan. And I'll just simply use the year. Now, the point is that day what we discussed, it may have not been clear to you, but now this is the time. See, if I click, all the numbers changes, right? The cost, the average, everything, because this is a cross filter which we have covered. The visual will also change. Now, generally, what happens if you decide that these numbers are the overall numbers and they should never actually change based on the filter, because our dashboard should always populate these numbers based on the process, not based on what the user has selected. So these right now, they are changing. So what we can do is select the filter, slicer, sorry. Remember, edit the interaction. Say that, none, and none. I hope now this is making sense to you, right? So these are all those things which you should know when you're creating the dashboard. And that's why we are learning before we jump onto the dashboards, right? In this way, creating dashboard will be very easy. So click back here, make sure they are gone, disappear. And now if I select 2020, you see the graph is changing. This graph is changing, but the numbers are not changing because I decided these numbers should always be there. So this is how all these things, go in the dashboards. So edit the interaction. I'll put them back to their original nature. When you practice, you can do that. So I'm putting them back to the filter. Okay. So remember, slicer uses the one field only. That's very nice to create. It's very easy to create the, sorry, not the slicer, but the cards, right? Now, if you see here that, so from card to card, format painter happened. If I click on this again, and I go and click on this particular option here, see the filter, the color will be applied here as well. But then it will be on the result may not be as per your expectations because this is a different visual. This is a different visual. Here you don't have those, like there's just one field. In the slicer, we have covered this. It's all a different level, right? So when you have to use a paintbrush, don't do that. Try to use this for the visual. If I have a slicer created, I want the same color to be, used on any other slicer. Then if I've created a slicer here, I've done the formatting, I've colored everything, all that. Yes. Then from this to the other slicer, it will work for you. Okay. Otherwise, don't use the for the different the visuals. Okay. So, and yes, so one more thing we can use, which I didn't tell you. So like suppose you have created this, you've created this. So what I'm going to do now, sometimes I prefer actually putting them here. So I'll put these here, like this. I'll put the slices somewhere here. So what I'm trying to actually tell you is we can also do one more thing. This average, I need the whole number, right? This average of sales. So what you're going to do, select the sales, pay attention. You already know this, but I'm repeating. Whole number, right? And then decimal is 0. So why are we doing this as 2 decimals? Okay, let's go here. Yeah, so basically, my mistake, this is your data. This is the cost, right? So actually, once the average comes, it's going to be in the decimal because average is, it's calculated in the decimals. So it has nothing to do with the field because field is already correct. I thought the field may have a problem, but I forgot. Field is okay, field is a whole number, but when it calculated this, originally it created decimals. So we have this here. So we will go in the call out value, I guess. And yeah, so here the decimal value is in auto mode. Actually, it should be, let me try to put this as 0. Perfect. Yeah. Or maybe 1 actually. Well, 1 shows this, which is okay. Anyways, so you see that here we have picture coming correct. Now, what I was telling you is that the cards we have created, You can do one more thing. Let me put them. Let's have this distance aligned. There's an option for that. I'll tell you that all that later. Now see, my plan is that just for information, I'm going to create some text box here, insert text box. Yeah. So this is my text box, you see. And now based on my theme, what I will do, I will decide some color for this text box. So let's go in the effect. So I'll maybe use this color. No, I'll use maybe this color. Yeah, maybe, right? And one second, let's just line them here. Yeah. So now what I will do, guys, I'll just put this here, right? I'll put this here, and we will now have to send it back. So we see the option. Where is the option? We go in the home tab. Where is the option? No, sorry. One second, please. Apologies. Page view, mobile layout. It's not showing me here. Yes, sorry. Yeah, this is the tab, format tab. So let me put this here. And in the format tab, we will use the send backward, send to back. Okay, it's going to put that, behind this, in this way. Okay. So, this is also one of the things you can do. So plan is that when you select this, I'll just put this width like this. Yeah, click object. Look at this now. Yeah, it's looking good, right? So what we have done, we just said that, okay, insert the shape. Text box, basically. Text box is there. Then you have to color the text. Click here, expand here. Okay. So go in the effect, in the effect, we can put the background. So, you can choose the theme, see which color suits you. I didn't use the black. If it's black and black, it's not going to make sense. So pick the color. If you want to create some shadow, visual borders, you can do all that stuff. And then once we put, move this right over this, the cards. So we went in the format and we said, we want to send it to back. So then what it does, it goes in the back. It goes in the back. Okay. So right now I do not need this. So just remove this from here. So this is how it is. Okay. So when we will have the dashboards, we can make a use of it. Cards, and then in the background, some shape. All right. Anything you want to ask me, guys? Fine. Are we okay with the card visual, right? Very simple.